So a function is defined as it's a relation such that every x value goes to just one y value. That's the definition of a function. So there's a couple ways that you can see whether something's a function or not. First of all, if you see it's a graph, let's say this right here, is that a function?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a function because every x value, watch this, every x value, if I take any x value and I go straight up to the graph, that's the y value associated with it right there. For that x value, it's that y value. And notice I didn't go, when I went up to the graph, I didn't keep going and hit another y value. So every one of these points, if I trace down the x value and trace over to the y value, there's only going to be one y value for every x value. Whereas if I had something like this, let me draw a different graph in. If I had a graph that looked like this, a circle, well, that's not even a circle, but either way, it's not a function. Why not? Because if I take, let's say this point here, let's say that's 5, and if I go up to the graph, I'm going to hit this y value, which is, let's say, 2, and then I'm going to hit that y value up here, which is, let's say, 6. And so 5, comma 2 and 5, comma 6 are both on the graph.
So it's not a function.
So it's not a function. So sometimes you'll see a graph sometimes you'll see it given to you like this: 4, 3, 7, 1, 1, 6. Is that a function? And that is a function.
There's no multiple.
Because
X
right, look
values.
for something where there's two different points that have the same x value but different y values.
Okay.
Because if you graph it, those would be like sitting on top of each other on the graph, and then it wouldn't pass the vertical line test. So that's how we tell if something's a function. So is this a function right here?
No.
Is that a function? No, it's
No.
not, because I added,
An extra x value.
right, because I added another x value. So if I
There was
graph
also
this,
another y value in there that was the negative.
yeah, so if this 4 right here, it's going to be 4, 3, and also 4, negative 3. Those are two different points on my graph, and so it's not a function because it doesn't pass the vertical line test. What about this? What if I erase this and I make this point 3, comma 6? Is that a function?
Yeah. Well, actually,
It is a function. Some people say no because they see two 6s, but that's okay.
yeah, it is.
You can have two different x values going to the same y value, but you can't have two different y values going to the same x value. And that's how you tell if something's a function.